Hello, good afternoon. My name is Hector Garcia. This is my fourth video class assignment for the class and the subject of migration and health in medicine school. In this week, I had the task of reading three different documents, articles referred to cultural competence. Uh, well, in the first document and in the vast majority of the documents, I had, I read about them and something that it was really clear and something that I have really learned about is about how every single human being that works, that studies in the health environment, we must um, be competent and we must respect any kind of religion, any kind of cultural believing. So, yes, I mean, maybe Hector, I believe in God, but I must be capable of knowing that not everyone who I'm gonna ever read is going to agree with me. It's gonna agree with the way I think. It's gonna agree with the way I've been grown. I've grown, and that's something that we as doctors must be aware of. Aware. Um, what else? In the first document, of course, it talks about, well, the minorities that maybe they are not as valued as it should be. Maybe there shouldn't be any minorities. So, yeah. Of course, um, in the second document, it talks more about the well, different models. I mean, in the second document, it's the one that I think it's the best one because it proposes a model where doctors and people should work together with the patient to have the best healthcare as possible. What am I? Well, you may ask, what am I saying? Let me explain it to you. In this second article, there are three different concepts, there are three different ideas that establishes. The first one, behavior. As doctors, we must be prepared to have a good behavior with the patient. We must create create a trust relationship with the patient. I'm not saying that we must interfere with their personal issues. We must stay and respect them. The second one, we have the cultural one, which is the attention, and the administration one in the healthcare systems. I mean, uh, not only the doctors, but also the health programs, the health institutes must respect the patient and their integrity. The third one, we have that the patient should also continue and should also help us with their work. Okay, so if we complete this model, we'll be able to work together to have the best well, how can I say? We can have the best, well, yeah, relationship. We have the best learning as possible. And of course, we're gonna be culturable and we're gonna be sensitive as doctors. So in another document, it talks about that maybe sometimes there are gonna be times where we're gonna talk with patients that they don't speak our language. It's totally understandable. So in that cases, maybe we will need someone who can help us to translate what they are saying. But we also have to respect them. It's so important as a doctor and as a nurse have an ethical role model or someone who can we respect and who can we trust. Um, of course, there are going to be some issues that are going to be hard, such as the um, economic problems. Not all the patients are going to be able to afford um, um, a visit to a doctor and a specialist, but we have to be empathic and we must do what we can to help them. So yeah, was anything unclear to you? Yes, at first I didn't know what the meaning of cultural competence was. I had no idea. But then I read about it. Understood. I understood. I can completely understand what's going on, and I like it. I respect it, and I agree with everything they say. What was new? Honestly, I'm gonna say something. Yesterday, I was reading about how we as doctors must have a treat with the patient even before it starts the real talking with them. I mean, visually, we must see each other, and before start talking, we must look at them. Never, ever, when we're talking to a patient, we must never make any gesture. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say it in English. No debemos de hacer gestos al estar frente a un paciente. So we must never make any faces, any blinks, any smiles, something that maybe makes them awkward. It can make awkwardly everything. So uh, yesterday I was reading about it, and now that I have read more and more about this issue, it makes me more solid the way I'm thinking. So uh, I like it, and I do think it makes everything. Uh, it makes my way of thinking even more interesting. Was there anything I would like to learn about more? Mm, I would like to continue reading and investigating by my own what's going on if no. I would like to know if in other countries, such as in the United States, they do respect immigrants. Maybe you all think you all know the answer. I'm not referring to if there's racism or not. What I want to know is if in countries like in the United States or in San Diego, California, Los Angeles, if they really have those skills and those abilities. So if they have that cultural competence. That's what I want to know. And number five, give at least one example. Simple. Going, well, having a patient. What is another example that I can put? Having a real case, a kid from another country that speaks another language, maybe someone from China, and I don't know how to speak Chinese. That's why I have I must be able to find a way to communicate with him, and maybe hopefully there will be someone that can speak Chinese and Chinese Spanish, Chinese English, and somehow I will connect with him. So that's an example. Not always I'm going to be able to find someone that speaks the same language as me, and that's okay. Okay. So yeah, that's everything from this week. And I really like this these three documents. I think it was something new. It was something new. And well, I mean, we should all respect each other. There shouldn't be any discrimination, okay? In different countries, they are just affecting each other. They're attacking some other people, and that's not okay, you know? Maybe what I'm saying is the same thing that they are always referring. There's always saying, you know, what really matters is the patient. The patient is the one that's the real deal. He is the most important thing in our life. He must be happy. He must feel in a good environment, and he must trust in what we are doing. We must always tell him what's going on, not speaking in a difficult and some terminology, some difficult vocabulary. We must never use a difficult vocabulary with a patient because they are not going to understand what we're trying to say. And if they don't understand what we're trying to say, they won't take the good decisions. They won't be able to take the decisions as it should be. So, uh, it's never going to be easy. If we don't know how to treat a patient in our country, if I don't know how to treat a patient in Mexico, how am I going to be able to treat a patient in another country? Okay? It's outrageous. Of course, outrageous the way in another countries they're treating people from another ethnicity, another way of thinking, like I said before. So, yeah, you know. Well, I guess that's everything from today. I hope you liked the video and see you next week. Thank you.